That looks like Silver Surfer's cock.
Have you ever had sex with a mother and her daughter?
Africans are purple.
I'm embarrassed to admit that I actually own a battle fist.
You got everything right.
I'm too lazy to do a podcast, so I appear on other people's podcasts. This is PodCRASH with that Chris Gore.
Welcome to the show. I am that Chris Gore. This is PodCRASH. This is the show where you get to hear me as a guest each week on a different podcast. You get to discover new shows. I get to talk about a variety of topics. And this week, a topic I know a little something about: nerds. Nerds and geekdom. Because I am a lifelong nerd. I'm a guy, let me tell you what a big nerd I am. And first of all, I'm crashing a show called RadNerd, hosted by one of my favorite people in the nerdverse, which is Beau Ryan. And he hosted the show with a guy named Leo Camacho, Brian Greenhouse, Damian Burr, and Flitz, the legendary Flitz. And I'm also a big fan of Flitz. So I was on the RadNerd show years ago. The show's no longer around, but radnerd.com and @RadNerd still exists, and RadNerd also has a YouTube presence. But Beau Ryan is an active nerd. But let me tell you, these are the times in my life that you know you're a nerd, right? Because there's a big battle being fought in nerddom these days over what it is to be a real nerd. There was that hilarious thing on a recent Portlandia where you can look this up on YouTube, this video. There's a girl that says, "Oh, I'm such a nerd. I play video games and I read comic books. I'm such a nerd. A nerd. And then the screen freezes and a guy gets up who looks like a very svelte Harry Knowles. He looks right at the screen. He goes, "Hello, I'm a real nerd." And then he starts explaining how it's not fun to be a nerd and be picked on. And I'm thinking I was that guy. In school, I was that guy. That was me. In elementary school and junior high. And when, look, I was picked last for real when it was not cool to be a nerd. But this is what a nerd I am, is I remember this. It was in 4th grade, okay? I would actually, in my 4th grade math class, okay, I was such a huge fan of the Fantastic Four that there were 2 different ways to write the number 4. And I can't really do it on a podcast. But the way that I wrote it is the way that the Fantastic Four, the number 4, was seen in the comic book, The Fantastic Four. But my teacher wanted me to write it the other way. It was still a 4. So in defiance, I wrote out a 4 in the Fantastic Four style because the Fantastic Four in 4th grade was my favorite frickin' comic book. That was my gateway comic book. That was the comic book that made me fall in love with comic books. It's the comic book that I would say basically made me into a nerd. It was really a combination of that and the original Batman television show from the 60s. And I remember when that 1966 Adam West Batman movie actually aired on television, because it was well canceled by the time that I discovered the Batman TV show, but it was in repeats. And when that Batman movie played as sort of a movie of the week, it was like one of those the Saturday movie of the week. It was the ABC Saturday movie of the week. Those videos actually still give me chills when I see them on YouTube, where you see like this sort of cheesy animation of these giant stars that go toward the screen, and it was Adam West in Batman. It was between that and discovering the Fantastic Four comic book just made me a comic book. What I loved about the Fantastic Four is these were just regular people. And the Fantastic Four did not have secret identities. And I love the fact that Reed Richards was a scientist. And I love the fact that he had a hot blonde girlfriend who could turn invisible, who was totally madly in love with him until the Submariner came along. And then also the fact that amongst all my friends, we would talk about what superheroes that we liked, and what, everybody likes Spider-Man or they like Superman. You're either a Spider-Man or a Superman fan. And I was the one guy that said I'd like to be Reed Richards because he's a scientist and he's kind of a billionaire, not quite a billionaire playboy, but a billionaire nerd. He was a nerd. I mean, they made fun of him for being a nerd in the comic book. He was made fun of for being a nerd, and I identified with him. Plus his stretching power. I just thought in my perverted 4th grade mind what I would do with a stretching power. I'm going to leave that comment there. I'm going to let you think up your own joke. I'm not going to take that any further, because to take that further is going to be distracting from the fact that we now live in a society where nerds are cool, that jocks are being exposed to being even bigger idiots. Wait, how many times do you actually like look at the news media and think, oh my God, another nerd busted for rape? Oh God, look at that. Look at all those geeks carrying their guns and doing all the, what is this with these rivalry between, but you see sports figures and people in the music industry and whatnot constantly getting into trouble over drugs and what. How many times has that broken in the news media where a nerd has actually been busted for doing something, related to drugs or violence or aberrant criminal violent behavior? That never happens. That never happens. Look, as a nerd, I remember despising with a passion gym class because I didn't want to just take my clothes off, get naked, and run around in the shower. Nothing gave me less pleasure than that. Was that humiliation of going to gym class and then having to shower after. Freaking hated it. Oh my God. So I suffered through that, which is why if you hear a little tinge of anger every time when this, about this topic, that it's because of that. But I have now seen the evolution, and now the meek have inherited the earth, the nerds rule. So let's get to RadNerd. Oh, and before RadNerd, speaking of nerds, Saturday, March 30th, at 7:30 p.m. at the Anaheim Convention Center. You're going to see PodCRASH live. If you're someone who's going to WonderCon in Anaheim, and you can get information at comic-con.org/WCA, or you can go to facebook.com/PodCRASH. We're doing PodCRASH live at 7:30 on a Saturday night at WonderCon. It's going to be awesome. And Adrian Curry is my very special guest. Another special guest that I cannot name. You will also see Comic Book Live doing our special Star Wars Episode 7 show at WonderCon. It's going to be amazing. This is actually a secret. I'm hoping actually that Adrian doesn't listen to the show, because this is supposed to be a surprise for her, is that we're going to put her in Star Wars Episode 7. And the Patrick Ian Moore, Tommy Bechtel, all my buddies, the Brandon, Cannon, Kia, the whole gang are from IO West are all going to be there, and we're going to be doing Star Wars Episode 7 and with Adrian. It's a secret. Keep it from her. But come to the show. It's free as long as you're as young as you have like a WonderCon badge. So check it out. Come to that show. All right. End of the plugs. Let's get right to RadNerd. Now, RadNerd is hosted by this guy, Beau Ryan. Beau Ryan looks like a rock star. He's sort of like a nerdy rock star, like an Elvis Costello type, right? And I have enjoyed his acting. He's one of those guys where it's like, if I ever see him at any nerdy event, whether it's at E3 or it's at Comic-Con or anything, he's a guy I like to hang out with. Like, dude, so what's really going on here? Tell me what's going on. I don't know. We just sort of bond, like sort of being like, I feel like there's definitely a hierarchy of nerds. We may be nerds among the nerds, but Beau, I've just always enjoyed everything he's done, and he invited me on his show, and this was recorded actually back in January of 2010, and it was a video podcast that aired weekly on thestream.tv, which is actually now on YouTube, and it's also a lot of things happened on this show, and a lot of things happen apparently when I drink beer when I'm on a podcast. And it's funny because they record the show like it was right down the street from G4, my former employer. I no longer work there at G4, Attack of the Show. I think fondly of my days at Attack of the Show. A lot of fun. But it was conveniently located down there, and down the street. And I really just love hanging out with them. Flitz especially. Flitz was actually one of those guys where I thought Flitz has a really cool look, and I really feel like that guy should be a TV host in some capacity. I don't know why G4 did not hire him. They used him as one of those like fan guest hosts, and he just has one of those vibes, and he's got like a positive energy and he has the coolest hair of any of the people I've known, with the exception of me. I think that when he and I are together, we are salt and pepper. We're definitely salt and pepper. I'm gonna tweet out a picture of Flitz and I love those guys, and it's one of my favorite appearances being on RadNerd. Oh, and I failed to mention before we get into the RadNerd clips, I'm part of the Sideshow Network, which is all kinds of shows like Caleb Bacon's Man School, Zane Lamprey's show, which is awesome, Zane Lamprey Live, the Phil Hendry Show, the Jerky Boys. I love the Jerky Boys. And if you like my show, you can go to SideshowNetwork.tv to find out about more shows that you will love, like Tommy Chong's show, and you should do that. There's also like a little sideshow section on iTunes. Okay, let's get to RadNerd, which was recorded with the help of Beer, Beau Ryan, and friends. RadNerd!
Exact number or give or take. Now you're on the RadNerd show, episode 7.
Where I'm with men, which is great, which is
201.
really fun. I love to see Rob squirm. This is my new fun thing. Watching Rob squirm. You are so being texted by Haley Bright right now.
You should pitch it.
Bring your text messages from Haley Bright over here. I'll respond to them.
I just want to say
Let's
something.
talk about. I want to give you dating advice.
We didn't
if
bother
you're gonna date Haley
preparing
Bright, you gotta do it
because
right,
we knew
man.
that Chris Gore was going to be Chris Gore.
I'm literally, I'm the greatest wingman on the planet, trust me, for various reasons.
Talk about
Film. Oh yeah, I can talk about movies. I do it all the time. What?
All right, we need to lock it up on the set. I need you guys to lock it up on the set. Lock it up on the set. All right, let's move forward. Chris,
Yes, sir.
let's talk about the porn convention in Vegas.
Yes. What would you like to know?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We went to CES, which was my porn.
Right.
Let's talk about your type of porn. Tell us how the adult expo.
Do you want to know
adult
the truth?
entertainment expo?
Adult Entertainment Expo. Let me just tell you the truth for a moment. First of all, you know that's about the adult industry. Porn. Many of you have masturbated to it. I'm saying all the dudes and you.
He sends the girl off to the side.
To my friends are like, oh, dude, you're at the porn convention. This has to be the greatest thing ever. I'm like, yes, it is. Imagine you're having sex for the very first time. You're like, oh my God, this is like the greatest vagina I've ever put my penis in, including the first one. And so you're having sex and you're like, this is awesome, it's great, but you suddenly discover that your mom is watching. So this is what AEE is like. It's like simultaneously awesome and, no, my God, why is this happening? It's terrible. Because you see great things and then you see like a double-fisted, like gelatinous thing that is used for something even I don't know about, and I know fucking everything. Trust me. About sex shit.
It also has that
I
smell.
school Anna David. Trust me.
Someone watching.
You think I'm lying?
Did you just say
I'm all about the truth. I'm all about the truth. What? Just because I said I school Anna David?
Oh man!
Oh, I didn't hear schooled.
Oh, well, go right ahead. Oh, wait. Because that was like a sort of, that's an old reference.
Yeah.
That's kind of lame.
Yeah.
That was, yes.
Yeah.
But what can I say? I'm drinking cheap beer. So, Flitz.
Apparently, you have a story about Blair Herter at AE.
What about Blair Herter?
The Blues said, ask Chris to
First of
tell
all,
the Blair
which
Herter
story about Blair Herter? The time where a girl sat on his face? Pantsless?
Oh.
Okay.
She didn't have underpants. That was last year. What
Last
about
year.
this year?
She said last year.
Yes, a girl sat on his face and he was kind of disgusted by it, and I don't know. I don't know why he would be disgusted by it unless you don't like vagina. But I'm thinking, just so you know, Blair, the dude likes vagina. Trust me. I've seen the things he left behind, and what? I'm saying whatever.
Wow. So I think
There's a lot of stories there.
That we can go. That's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother
Not a
show.
whole
Yeah,
other
the Blair
episode.
Herter.
That's a whole nother
Get Blair
show
Herter here to
entirely.
speak
Yeah.
for himself, because I don't want to speak for Blair
message
Herter.
you.
Arrange that.
I'll message
Yeah,
that
we'll
out.
arrange
You
that.
could play.
We'll work on it.
You could play a game with Blair Herter. You could play Have You Ever? Right? Have you ever had sex with a mother and her daughter?
And then
Maybe.
and then he does one of these because you have to,
in I don't know where exactly it was that he was telling us, but try that game when he comes on.
I will
Play
try
the
that.
tape.
when he comes on what?
This show.
Keep it the theme of the show.
Yes.
All right.
And moving along.
Enough about cunt talk. Let's talk about your new book,
New side project.
Okay.
Chris Gore's Ultimate Film Festival Survival Guide.
Yes.
Now, what is it? Is this for, before I go to Tribeca? Do I need is this like my idiot's guide to how to get around? And
it's everything you need to know to take your movie to a film festival.
Okay. So
required reading.
Chicks really dig that you write a lot of words, except not. So there you are.
Oh, so have you tried like reading this book to chicks?
No. Reading it to them?
Yeah.
Some of them maybe I should. I don't know. I wrote the first edition like 10 years ago, and so it's now like required reading in film school, which is weird for me because I never graduated.
Yeah,
this has like
from film school.
Harry Potter spacing. I like that.
No, it's not.
Speaking of this book, it's also going to be the grand prize for tonight's trivia, which we'll get to later on. And to make it more special, what are we going to do with this book, Chris?
I don't know. I'll sit on it for the whole time.
Yeah. I don't know why that
Look
makes
at me. That feels good. Well, you know what? Not that comfortable, my book. I'm going to be honest with you. Sitting between my bony cheeks, not that comfortable. I'm gonna just say, you laughed, which was good. But yeah, I'm going to be sitting on it. And maybe I'll sign it. Who
Someone
knows?
said fart on it.
Fart on it. Later in the show. Later in the show, we'll see what happens.
Signed with the beer
We'll
card.
see.
So guys, in order to win this, you guys know the rules. To participate in Leo's trivia, you guys have to follow us on Twitter and @reply your answers to us @RadNerd when those trivia questions come up after Tuesday's a Bitch. So let's get right into the segment. Tuesday's a Bitch. Yes. Tuesday.
No, it's not the Christmas. but hey, we need to start the year off with a fail, right? Let's get it out of the way now. Let's go.
Shit.
Fuck it.
No, that was what was given to me to load in. So
Actually, we put that in there.
Christmas was
We
on
put that in
there?
there just so that you could put it up and everybody would blame you.
We
That's
knew you perfected your style, Jared, and we just wanted to throw a little Easter egg in there to just
Do you have your Arbor Day graphics ready? Because there's a show coming up.
Easter bunny at you. So Tuesday's a bitch. Let's do it.
We're
All
just
right,
preparing
let's
for
do
the end of
this.
the year.
Tuesday's a Bitch. You guys know it. Every Tuesday, I gotta go to Best Buy. I gotta fucking go on Amazon, and I gotta buy some shit. Today, I bought Gamer.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
I like Gamer.
Gamer is great. Gamer is good.
Wait for the camera.
The cinematography was awesome, but you know what? You got the same cheesiness as you did when you watched The Running Man, if you know what I mean. And
Cool effects, dude.
Gerard Butler did great. It was awesome. I loved enjoying it. I probably won't watch it over and over, but I'll show it to people and be like, hey, let's get shit-faced and watch Gamer. So you don't have to let them stare at the cover, though, Jared.
You wrote a book. What do you think?
And
I was trying to find something.
that's cool. And next up on Blu-ray, I would recommend probably an awesome movie by P.T. Anderson, who's probably one of my favorite directors next to Wes Anderson.
Yeah, Venture Brothers.
Is Boogie Nights. You know?
He was doing the situation before the situation was situated. That's all I'm saying with the grabbing his cock.
It's my big cock. I'm gonna fuck whoever I want to. All right? You're not my mom.
I'm glad
You're not the boss of me.
I'm glad that movie came out on
Yes.
the Tuesday that we have Chris Gore.
But you know what?
Yes.
But the movie's about
He's over there.
we're gonna get it. The movies. It's about porn industry in the Valley. Where I live, and but I want to do a different Tuesday's a Bitch. We got Chris Gore here. We went to Vegas. I brought home a bunch of movies from Vegas, and I just wanted to show off, a few of the collections that I brought with us to Vegas since Chris Gore's here. First of all,
Yeah.
My coworker Sasha Grey.
we kept it nerdy. A Hustler. This ain't Star Trek.
Porn
I own Porn Wars.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's great.
Wait,
It's a porn
review.
with lightsabers.
Yeah, there's
Isn't everything better with lightsabers?
Yeah, it's a porno.
Yes.
There's Scrubs.
Sure.
Wow,
picked
he kind
that
of
one
looks
up.
like.
The porn
There's
parodies are huge.
Spankenstein.
That's actually that
yeah.
is actually
They're not as good as Edward Penis his
San
hand.
San Fernando Jones.
Of course.
You know,
Wow.
that's the Valley.
Is that Ron Jeremy?
Tiger's Wood, which is great.
Although, I will just say,
and
he
there's-
does not actually have sex with the girls.
There's
in
Twilight
the
with Jenna Hayes.
Jenna Hayes.
You know? The Penetrator.
Come again.
You know? God, you know, Edward Penis Hand.
There you go.
You know?
Classic.
Yeah. I mean, all these movies, they all did the same job for me. You know?
It was a hand job.
They all did the same. They all did the same
They
job.
didn't blow.
So
Oh.
that was. Is there anything you did? You did DVDs day today, right? Is there anything?
Yes, I agree with you about Gamer. That movie surprised me.
Right.
I actually kind of quite liked it. I like that sort of parody they did of Home on the PS3.
Yes.
They had all
Yeah.
it was
Amazing.
That was hilarious.
That was funny.
It
That
really
was
is.
hilarious.
There's a lot of jokes in there that I think will only appeal to gamers, which
Right.
I appreciate that they actually paid that much attention to detail. Which is cool. But the porn parodies you were talking about, are great. I've been watching those for years. I think To Live and Shave in L.A. is probably one of my favorites.
Ooh, nice.
That's a
Bad
Tupac
Side
story,
of the
yeah.
Future, which is pretty awesome.
Okay, I gotta say, I love porn parodies. You know, having gone to like the AEE show in in Vegas, I've gone to that show a whole bunch, and we used to do a special show for Attack of the Show. We would do these like little specials on AEE. The porn parodies I love. I love them from the standpoint of I would collect them. There's like an Avatar 3D Blu-ray porn that Nikki Hunter is in. Although I have to say, when I actually know an adult film actress, because Nikki Hunter I actually performed with in Comic Book Live, I can't ever watch them in porn again because it's like seeing a friend. It's like seeing a friend's tape that I shouldn't see. But she's in the Avatar. Before I knew her, I saw that Blu-ray. It also happens to be in 3D. And the makeup is just insane in that. And it's weird, while I love the idea of porn parodies, like there's a Star Wars porn parody, and the budgets on these things are insane. There's Star Whores is another one. There's Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Anus. I actually like to, you know what I like to do? I just like to look at the box covers for these porn parodies. But the one that disturbed me the most was the one for Batman. There's actually a bunch of them. There's The Dark Fuck. There's the Batman XXX porn parody. I can't, because let's face it, folks, I'm going to be honest. If you're watching porn, you're going to masturbate because that is what you do when you look at porn. You are watching porn so that you can be masturbating to things. I cannot masturbate to something because I kind of feel like it's breaking this whole thing. The costumes on the Batman one is so good. They're so accurate to the original series. And James Dean actually plays Robin in that. He looks so much like oh God, I'm spacing on the actor's name from Burt Ward. Yes, Burt Ward. He looks so much like him. I can't jerk off to it. It's like seeing something as a kid I should never see. It's the worst. So yeah, I feel scarred for life, and I love them. All right, back to the RadNerd show.
Next one, and this one I'm amazingly excited about. It's the return of Kitty Pryde in X-Men, Uncanny X-Men number 522. She was dead? She wasn't dead. She got, Joss Whedon, again, shot her off into space in a giant bullet. Show the next image, please. Giant fucking bullet.
That does not
She's
look like
in
a
a giant bullet.
That
guy-
looks like a tampon.
Yes, it does.
A
And
really
she
painful
was
vibrator.
inside of it, and it was aimed right at Earth. It was going right at Earth back in the Astonishing X-Men series. Giant Astonishing X-Men number 1. Next image, please. She actually phases this.
Wow.
Just
She
show you how
penetrates the
big
world.
This bullet was.
That looks
She
like
actually-
Silver Surfer's cock.
I think you mean Galactus.
It's amazing.
That's what he calls it anyway.
So this giant silver bullet tampon-looking thing goes right through Earth,
The power
and Joss
constant.
lets her sail off into space, never to be heard from again. And the current writer who's doing X-Men right now is bringing it back, and I am amazed and very excited about
You
this.
sound excited about
I
it.
know, I really am. No, it's cool because I'm really excited that she's coming back. They brought Colossus back from the dead. And they're
Is it
bringing-
gay?
No, it's not gay.
Cool.
It's going to be amazing. I'm not going to tell you who brings her back, but it's pretty cool because she's in a big metal bullet.
I hope it's Joss Whedon.
No, Joss Whedon has nothing to do with this one. Other Marvel news I'm really excited about. Not that one. Not that one. You can come back to me if you'd like. I miss you. There's me. Yeah.
Handsome man.
Other stuff that's coming up in Marvel this year: the return of Captain America, hence the Captain America shirt that I'm wearing this evening.
I knew it.
Siege, which is going to be pretty cool. Fall of the Hulks, and the end of the Avengers, which is pretty interesting. They're going to kill all the Avengers. Bullshit. And Marvel promises to to finally resolve the whole Brand New Day storyline between Spider-Man and Mary Jane, in which Spider-Man and Mary Jane, their marriage dissolved and never happened because Aunt May got shot by a bullet. And Mephisto went, "Ooh, I could save your old Aunt May if I take your marriage away from you." Huh? Okay. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, what? No, can't happen. All right, things are going on. Other than that, I'd have to say is Marvel is screwing with DC, and you guys are gonna like this one. The official press release, in an effort to provide assistance to comic retailers in 2010, Marvel is offering retailers an opportunity to turn unsold comics into an extremely rare Siege #3 Deadpool variant. And the way to get these is you have to send 50 stripped DC Comics covers to Marvel for a variant comic.
Damn.
They're screwing them. It's ridiculous. And it's comics like Adventure Comics #4, Booster Gold, Doom Patrol, Outsiders, Rebels, shit that nobody reads, but still, that's pretty rude. It's pretty rude. I'm waiting for DC's response on that one. Okay, what's going on in DC Comics this year? We got the return of Bruce Wayne. Batman isn't going to be dead anymore.
Yeah.
Because if you missed
back.
it, he was dead, but he's not anymore. Because same thing with Captain America, he was dead, but he's not anymore. We got after the Blackest Night comes a Brightest Day, Superman World of Krypton, and that's pretty much it. DC's a little quiet right now. Now we can go to the collectibles, please. My friend. I know, I love it when you throw your hands up in the air. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm going to talk about some cool collectibles. Sideshow Collectibles is coming off with a new Buffy the Summer statue.
Just tell me the price of that.
Yet to be determined, actually.
Huh?
Yet to be determined. They haven't stated, but they said it's going to be coming out in the first. It's coming out in the third quarter of 2010, and it actually looks pretty good. It's a pretty good sculpt. I'm really surprised.
They'll probably push it back.
Yeah, they usually do. Next, I think you guys are going to like
That's
this one.
awesome.
That's so rad.
There's a Dr. Horrible animated maquette manufactured by Quantum Mechanics, and I know this one. This one's $69.99. This one is screw you and
I
take
want
all
that.
your cash
Appropriately
wallet.
priced.
It's ridiculous. But it's pretty cool, and you can only assume that they're going to be coming out with an entire series of these guys. So you'll actually see Captain Hammer, Corporate Tool coming in. Next up, coming up for movie news, that's not Captain Hammer. It's Green Lantern.
It should be.
Yes. I know. All right, going on movie news. Mark Strong is possibly going to play Sinestro. Martin Campbell, director of Green Lantern, starring Ryan Reynolds, has confirmed that he's in talks with the Sherlock Holmes actor Mark Strong to play the pink-skinned, mustachioed bad guy Sinestro. No word on who the villain is yet, but let's see Mark Strong. There he is. And there's the large-headed Sinestro on the bottom if you don't know who he is.
I can see that.
Yeah.
He's pretty badass. Also in movie news, we got the final Kick-Ass poster, which is arriving. I'm totally
nice.
psyched about this.
First of all, I just want to say something. I think this movie, represents the show. I think this movie will be like the anthem for us.
So we're all superheroes? Is that what you're saying?
I just want to throw that out there.
That's a very
I just
humble
want to say
assessment.
that.
Okay, but
We
who in
all
this
have
room has actually
leotards.
worn spandexes and run out in the streets and fought crime?
It's just what we do on the
Come on,
internet.
who hasn't thought
Who
about
hasn't?
actually doing
Yes.
it?
Seriously.
I've looked it up.
I think
see
Mr.
my
Gore has
car.
some. I think Mr. Gore has some Spider-Man 4 news he wanted to share with.
Well, no, it was Mark Webb. Mark Webb, the director of 500 Days of Summer, is now going to be the person to reboot the Spider-Man series. But you heard this. This is not new.
No, I'm letting you tell the people.
Oh, well, now I'm telling the people.
Yes,
But you could repeat it to the people. But I think he's a good choice for a director because they're going to, set Peter Parker back to high school.
Yeah.
And I like this idea because I feel like my absolute favorite Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, which I hope you all agree, is the one where Mary Jane is in peril at the end.
Yes.
That's my favorite
That's
one.
great.
Okay, now this was recorded right when The Amazing Spider-Man was announced, and I have to say I was extremely optimistic because Mark Webb was doing The Amazing Spider-Man, and it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be so cool. And then it sucked, and I don't know. They made him into emo Spider-Man. So the one thing is, I'm always optimistic on these things. I like to think positively, like it's going to be great. They've lined up all the correct talent, and then you end up with a turd. Thankfully, I actually saw Amazing Spider-Man at the drive-in with the benefit of some alcohol, which still did not make it a good movie. All right, back to RadNerd.
And we're back. Leo.
All right, everybody.
Has got trivia.
Settle down. Here we go. You ready? RadNerd trivia.
Oh crap!
The flowers to Christmas.
Wait a second. Wait. You got everything right except for you got that, but you didn't get anything else done?
I still got. All right, awesome. Well, hey, you know what? This is a manly show. I saw He-Man this weekend, so of course, all the trivia is based on He-Man, Masters of the Universe, and of course, as I ask the questions, which to answer, you're going to go to twitter.com/radnerd and @replyradnerd with your answer. The first correct answer will be entered into a drawing that will be picked at the end of the show, and you will win. We've got a bunch of prizes, and I'll announce them as we go along. But as I ask the questions, Mr. Gore will answer on this unbalanced white piece of board, and you can answer whatever you want. It
You're
can be
going
a word,
to draw
a picture.
it.
Yeah, draw it if you
Should
could.
I draw it?
Oh my God, this is going to be so wonderful. Okay, so let's just jump into this because we're running out of time here. So, question number 1. Let's start easy. What is Man-at-Arms' real name?
And tweeted.
And it's tweeted. Go on twitter.com. That way you don't have to wait for the lag of the show, because I know we're on a 30-second delay.
The computer's lagging.
Yeah, we hate lag.
Yeah, we hate lag. We hate it so much we do a different show. And anyways, so go on there, give us your answer, and in between the trivia, of course, we've got questions for Gore, which we've been doing this whole show anyway. So let's go.
Oh, man.
Flitz.
Hi.
Question
for
question
Gore?
for Gris.
I have a fuck ton.
That's a lot.
It's like a ton of fucks.
Wow.
All right, so let's start from the top. Bottom asks, Chris, if you had the power to erase one movie from existence, what would it be?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Good question.
All the Twilight movies.
There's only been 2.
Can we erase the books too? First of all, I actually think that I'm a huge fan of the Twilight books because they inspire girls that they could write better books. I'm serious. Because those books are so bad.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah, they're pretty awful.
Quick clip.
Yeah. That's my response, my honest response.
All right. Do we have an answer, Flitz?
We do have an answer.
Okay, well, you're going to show. You're going to show us. So give us the correct answer, and then we'll see what Gore.
The correct answer is Duncan.
Duncan, like the donuts.
Nice.
But how close are you, Chris?
I got the first letter right.
Douche.
I said douche.
Douche at Arms was his actual real name. That's on his birth certificate. That was pretty close. So who got that one?
All right. Wait. Do misspells count? It's misspelled, but it's
Sure, why not?
Sure, why not? Okay. So with the question,
Was it spelled Duncan like the? How many ways can you spell Duncan like the donuts?
It was spelled
Like
if you added a T, it would be dun cunt.
Oh, Duncunt.
That's
What? That doesn't count?
But the winner,
That's not even a real word.
the winner is FilmFan28.
Oh, yeah.
He
Okay,
has
cool.
it
He won a
first.
backpack that he just received today. Congratulations.
Cool. Congratulations, FilmFan28.
So you won a poster.
Yeah,
Attack of the
show
Show
them what they
poster.
win.
Yeah. Check it out. It's got... Wait, where's Chris Gore? He's not on here.
I'm not on it, but
No, you're not.
I could draw me on it.
Dude, draw it on there and sign that shit.
I'll draw myself on this poster,
Yeah.
so it'll be collectible. There you go.
Yeah, you collect that shit. Okay, number 2 on the trivia list. Can I get a little boom? Jared, Matt, and Greenhouse. How you've grown. Okay, so number 2 is Battle Fist is the 2002 toy name for what Masters of the Universe character? Tweet it. Flitz.
Tweet it. It's been twisted.
So his toy
tweet
name
it.
is Battle Fist. What was his real name? And you're gonna love this one. This is right up Chris Gore's alley.
It really is.
Yeah, it really, really
It's
is.
well, not literally right up his alley. I would
No,
hope
it's like
not,
right
at
up
least.
that fucking alley, you know? Right up that alley.
I'm embarrassed to admit that I actually own a battle fist. But it has nothing to do with He-Man.
It has everything to do with He-Man. Let's just put it that way.
It needs batteries. That's all I'm saying. Fuck. I shouldn't have admitted
The next
that.
question for Chris is,
Some
have you
people are
ever used
struggling
battle
with
fist?
that. Okay, well,
We can move on.
while we're waiting for an answer, FilmFan28 actually had a question. He says, Gore is such a film expert. I'm curious. Actually, this would be kind of long-winded. I don't know.
Okay, cut to the chase.
What is Chris Gore's favorite horror, comedy, drama, musical, action, etc.? By the way, I'm nominating Chris Gore for the best guest this decade.
Easy, Evil Dead 2. What the fuck? 2! Evil Dead 2 with Bruce Campbell. Perhaps America's greatest actor.
Yes. What did you think about My Name is Bruce?
I like the idea.
Yeah.
Not so much the movie. But I like the idea for the movie.
A for effort, right?
Yes,
F for
yeah.
execution.
Yeah. But I like that. They're making a sequel, actually.
Oh, perfect.
They're making a sequel. My Name is Bruce 2.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Avatar was pretty good.
Yeah, that was...
All right.
Yeah.
Win. Do we have an answer for the trivia?
We do have an answer for the trivia, and it's the perfect name for the mood of the show. And with the answer of Fisto, is bottomboy_69.
All right, write down what they're winning too for me, Flitz, if you don't mind.
Poster,
because I
first
will
guy.
forget. Cool. So the answer was Fisto because he has a humongous fist that he rams up anuses all day long. Cockknocker is not the correct answer. But cool. So you're gonna win. I don't know. We got.
What did Chris guess?
Oh yeah. What did Chris guess? Oh.
I can't.
Alfred.
But it sounds like a
Flitzcock.
great movie that I would go to see.
Alfred
If there was
Flitzcock.
a movie called Flitzcock, I would totally see it.
Yeah.
I would see Flitzcock 2 if it existed.
Sergeant Silent wants to know, does Gore have any embarrassing movie star moments?
What embarrassing? What?
Movie star moments. I guess
Movie
if you've
star
met someone
moments.
and embarrassing.
Yeah, you do a lot of the little film junkets.
Yes, I've
You
done
know,
the film junkets.
Yeah, so have you ran into any awkward interviews with people or
Yes, Ashton Kutcher once. I was there. It was whatever the
at
Vegas.
8+?
Yes, he did that movie with Cameron Diaz. It was that Vegas movie. And I just asked one sort of random question. He went off and was oddly not funny. It was weird. It was not funny.
Ashton Kutcher,
And
not
yeah,
funny.
that wasn't that exciting though.
Unheard of.
Wow.
Unspeakable. I refuse to believe you. No.
Yeah,
That man is comedic gold. No.
Yeah, not that was sort of like one where I think it derailed.
Yeah.
It did not go well.
I'm hoping the internets can find this for me and reply me at Beau Ryan. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, if that's on video, that would be great.
Truly epic.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it's out there.
Yeah.
Trivia,
No,
Flitz.
Yeah. Not really.
'cause-
Yeah, I wish I had a good one.
With the answer of Keldor, which
Keldor.
I swear I have a cousin.
Keldor?
Yeah,
I have a
that's
cousin
real
with that
name.
name. It's a black name. Skeletor was black.
Oh. Just because he wears purple.
Africans are purple. Jason MB with the answer of Keldor.
And what was your answer, Chris?
It's misspelled.
Oh, no, that's actually correct.
Is it correct? Yeah.
I would have taken Dolph Lundgren as his. That would have been correct.
That's a good one.
Cool. So you're winning another. We've got a signed poster, of course, which he will sign in just a moment.
Sign another.
You got to sign all of them, man. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's your payment. And of course, a G4 T-shirt.
Oh, wow.
The show. Yeah, it's on the sleeve and everything. Look at that.
Just gonna
Pretty
draw
cool,
boobs
right?
on Olivia.
Cool. So, final question for the trivia. This one's impossible, and I will give you a clue to solve it because otherwise you'll never get it. But number 5 for trivia.
You got the last bit of it.
You get particles. All right.
Oh, that was awesome.
All right. Number 5.
Welcome to the internet.
What is the X on He-Man's chest made out of?
It's not unobtainium. I can tell you that.
Do you know how much that goes for? Yeah,
That's a good
answer
question.
That one on Twitter. Go to twitter.com/RadNerd, do all that good stuff.
Okay, and this question comes from Ninja Arashi, and he got a question for Chris Gore. If Chris Gore could remake one movie, what would it be and why?
Star Wars Episode 1, I would want to make a good movie.
Oh.
I think that's a good. And then, if you ask me what the answer is at Star Wars Episode 2 and Star Wars Episode 3, I think should be also remade.
Yeah, you know what sucks the
films.
most about that is you can't take that shit back. That is forever. Those movies have been made. They are in a vault, and they will suck forever.
They're as nerds say, they're canon, which is really pathetic.
Oh,
so,
man.
Who would you like to remake them if it wasn't George Lucas?
Which you should have never done first.
Not George Lucas, almost any other director, I think, on the planet would probably do a much better job. Or they would probably give a shit. I think that actually is, yeah. That
See,
was
like,
basically him skull fucking our child.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right?
No lube,
Just
no
going with the
nothing.
Grayskull theme here tonight. So
He has the power
right?
to do so, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you think, how do you make a movie better than Star Wars? Well, you make Empire Strikes Back without George Lucas directing it.
Right, exactly. Well, he was in his best when he was executive producing, I think.
Yeah.
George Lucas, because he
Don't
was
get me started.
directing
This is a whole
all the.
nother
He was
show.
directing the second unit. He was directing when guys in those little little flying snow speeders went and got killed. That was Lucas doing that. He did a great job at that.
Okay, cool. So that's awesome. We need to pull a winner.
We got the answer.
Flitz, pull the winner.
A lot of close, but no dice.
I hope
a
they
lot
looked
of
at the
people.
last line in the Wikipedia page. That's
Yeah,
why
a lot of people said Eternian, which is not the answer. The correct answer is Eternian. The Eternian mineral, corrodite, is used to enhance his
That's
strength.
right. And if you got that correct, then you will never have sex.
Dan_GCN, you will be a virgin forever.
Sorry, dude. But the plus side is you get a
Yes.
copy of Chris Gore's book, which he threw on the other side of him, and I can't hold up right now.
Yeah.
But he did sit on it, and you will also get a signed poster because I just like making Chris sign stuff. So,
All right. Well, I think I have an answer that was kind of close.
Well, what is it?
Can I just say?
Yes.
It's vaginian.
Now let me tell you something.
I think that's a good answer.
The reason the X is made out of that is it's supposed to enhance his strength, but that would have done the trick just just letting you know.
Well, that's it for this week's show. I really want to thank Beau, Ryan, Flitz, and the gang at RadNerd. Beau, I look, if there was just one man that I would switch teams for, it would probably be someone like Beau Ryan. It would be, I could see us, we're like a gay married couple without the anal. I pretty much, that's what Beau and I are like. But you could get more information. You can follow Beau at RadNerd on Twitter. You can find them on Facebook, and you can go to radnerd.com. Also, you know what? Follow the show at PodCRASH Show for more updates. Follow me at that Chris Gore, and like us on Facebook, because really Facebook, you get more stuff. You get photos of this stuff. You can go to facebook.com/podcrash and go to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review if you think we deserve it. And you know what? Post a review because it helps other people discover the show. And if you're not watching our live shows and the videos that we've been posting on YouTube, you are only getting half of PodCRASH. Although don't watch them, because if you're driving the car, if you're in a car right now listening to this, do not watch the YouTube channel. Wait until you get home and then check that out. But you can go to youtube.com/PodCRASH TV. And that's all I've got to say for this week, except long live the nerds, and let's get out of here! If you're still listening to this, you're probably a lot like me. You're the kind of person who is a complete nerd, that obsesses over every detail, that is OCD, that has all of your DVDs alphabetized, that your comic books are in correct numerical order in long boxes with acid-free backing boards in bags. Well, that's a lot of my comic book collection. And if you have even one of those things, we're a lot alike, and I like you. And for that, you shall be rewarded. Send a self-addressed stamped envelope to PodCRASH with that Chris Gore, 5042 Wilshire Boulevard, PMB 1500, Los Angeles, California, 90036. You will be rewarded with the PodCRASH Fan Club Kit. It's absolutely free. Just send a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I'll send it to you. Later.